We have a heartwarming yet deeply significant story involving Tiny, King Harris, and a phone call that has fans emotional and inspired at the same time. This isn't just another headline. It's about accountability, care, and stepping up in ways that rarely get celebrated in the celebrity world. Sources have confirmed that Tiny personally reached out to King Harris' mother to check in on the child's well-being. And what she did next? She promised to provide full financial support to ensure King Harris has everything he needs to thrive. In an era where celebrity stories often revolve around drama, breakups, or feuds, this one is different. It's real, it's meaningful, and it's a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, celebrities are human beings capable of compassion and responsibility. Here's how the story reportedly unfolded. Tiny, known not only as a music legend, but also as a mother who has always prioritized her children, decided to personally reach out to King Harris' mother. The purpose was simple yet profound: to check on the child's well-being. But what makes this story exceptional is the intention behind it. This wasn't a casual check-in or a message meant to be shared publicly. It was an authentic, heartfelt gesture. In the conversation, Tiny reportedly promised to take full financial responsibility for King Harris, covering expenses related to his health, education, and daily needs. For fans, this gesture is monumental because it highlights the often overlooked side of celebrity life: the responsibility to support the children caught in the public eye. It's one thing to make headlines for music or fashion, but it's another to step up in a way that directly impacts a child's future. Think about this for a moment. Tiny, who has navigated decades in the entertainment industry, is no stranger to scrutiny, social media speculation, or public pressure. Yet in this moment, she prioritized something far more important than image or perception. She prioritized a child's well-being. In reaching out to King Harris' mother, Tiny demonstrated maturity, empathy, and responsibility. These are qualities that fans have long admired, but they rarely get highlighted in the constant whirlwind of celebrity drama. It's one thing to read about lavish lifestyles, parties, or feuds. It's another to see a public figure step up in a way that genuinely makes a difference in someone else's life, especially a child's. As expected, social media quickly caught wind of the story, and the reactions have been overwhelmingly positive. Fans expressed admiration and surprise, celebrating Tiny for her responsibility and compassion. On Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, people praised her actions, with comments like, "Finally, someone in the industry doing right by the child," and "Tiny is showing how it's done, taking responsibility without seeking clout." TikTok users went further, creating clips that paired uplifting music with reenactments of the call, highlighting the importance of care and responsibility. Unlike typical celebrity stories that generate conflict or speculation, this one sparked conversations about morality, parenting, and accountability. Fans were not just entertained, they were inspired. Now let's dive deeper into the financial aspect, which is equally significant. Tiny reportedly promised to provide complete financial support for King Harris. This includes medical care, educational expenses, clothing, nutrition, and other essentials needed to maintain a stable, nurturing environment. In the celebrity world, financial responsibilities are often a source of tension and conflict, with public disputes over child support or access becoming media fodder. But here, Tiny took proactive steps to ensure that King Harris would have everything necessary for a healthy, safe, and happy upbringing. This isn't just about money. It's about stability, peace of mind, and showing that a child's well-being comes before any personal or public concerns. However, King Harris' mother reportedly approached Tiny directly with a request for $1 million. According to insiders, this money was intended to cover both King Harris' needs and her own, ensuring that the child has everything necessary for his health, education, and daily living, while also providing her with stability. Now, in the world of celebrity families, financial requests like this can quickly become headline news. Fans are already weighing in with strong opinions, some saying it's completely justified, considering the expenses involved in raising a child, while others claim it seems excessive or even opportunistic. But the story is about more than just the money. It's about the responsibilities that come with fame, the expectations placed on celebrity parents, and how families navigate these high-stakes situations under the public eye. Think about the context here for a second. Tiny, who has consistently shown herself to be a responsible parent and caretaker, has previously offered support to King Harris and his mother. She has demonstrated that she is willing to step in and help ensure the child's well-being. But now, the mother is asking for $1 million, a sum that immediately raises eyebrows and invites debate. Fans are questioning whether such an amount is proportional to the needs of the child, whether it includes excessive personal expenses, and how Tiny might respond. In celebrity circles, these requests are never just financial. They are also public relations moves, ethical considerations, and often fodder for online discussion. And as we've seen countless times, the internet does not hesitate to weigh in on situations involving money and children, especially when celebrities are involved. The social media response has been intense. On platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, fans are debating the ethics and fairness of the request. Some users support King Harris' mother, saying that raising a child in a celebrity household is expensive and requires resources that go beyond the ordinary, including private education, healthcare, and general lifestyle maintenance. Others are skeptical, questioning whether $1 million is realistic or reasonable, and joking about the amount being extravagant. TikTokers and Instagram creators have made videos dramatizing the request, some even humorously imagining Tiny's reaction, while others take a more serious approach, analyzing what this situation says about celebrity responsibility and financial accountability. This debate is ongoing, and it demonstrates how financial matters involving celebrity families can quickly become public spectacles. Beyond the numbers, this story matters because it highlights important issues around accountability, parenting, and the responsibilities that come with fame. King Harris is a young child who deserves stability, care, and support. Asking for financial assistance, especially in a scenario where one parent has significant resources, can be seen as advocating for the child's best interest. The request for $1 million is not just about wealth. It's about ensuring that King Harris has access to proper nutrition, education, healthcare, and a safe environment, while also providing the mother with the means to maintain that environment. In a sense, this situation raises broader questions about how responsibility is shared, particularly in families where one parent is a public figure with substantial resources. Fans are particularly focused on the size of the request. On one hand, supporters argue that in the context of Tiny's wealth and resources, $1 million is justified if it guarantees the child's well-being. On the other hand, critics claim that the amount is excessive, particularly if it includes personal expenses for the mother beyond what is necessary for the child. This tension between providing for a child and public perception creates a complex discussion. Celebrity financial disputes, even when framed as support for a child, are always subject to scrutiny, and every dollar is examined by fans, media, and social media commentators. This is why this story has captured so much attention. It's a real-life drama with tangible stakes and public visibility. And speaking of fans, the reactions online have been intense, varied, and sometimes humorous. Some social media users have praised King Harris' mother for advocating for her child and asserting the financial support she believes is necessary. They argue that raising a child is expensive and that the parent has every right to ensure the child's well-being. Others are more skeptical, questioning whether $1 million is justified and suggesting that publicizing such a request is unnecessary or even opportunistic. TikTok creators have made videos dramatizing the conversation, turning it into a mini drama or comedy sketch, while Instagram threads are filled with passionate discussions about fairness, responsibility, and the obligations of celebrity parents. This level of engagement shows just how invested fans are in the lives of public figures and their families. And what makes this gesture even more impactful is how it contrasts with typical celebrity narratives. So often, public figures are criticized for neglecting responsibilities or turning their personal lives into drama for social media engagement. But Tiny's actions demonstrate the opposite. She recognized the importance of providing emotional and financial support, and she acted on it. By reaching out to King Harris' mother and making this commitment, she's not only showing care for the child, but also setting a positive example for other celebrities and parents alike. Fans have noticed, and the praise has been nonstop, because this is the kind of responsible behavior that rarely gets highlighted. And speaking of fans, the response has been overwhelmingly supportive. Social media users have flooded platforms with praise for Tiny's actions, highlighting her compassion and accountability. Some fans remarked that this is how adults handle situations, noting that taking care of a child's needs should always come first, regardless of fame or personal conflicts. Others shared personal stories, saying that seeing a public figure prioritize a child's well-being inspired them to reflect on their own responsibilities. The combination of admiration and inspiration demonstrates the real impact of positive celebrity behavior on public perception and culture. This story also highlights a crucial aspect of celebrity parenting that often gets overlooked: the emotional and financial responsibility toward children, especially those caught in public narratives. King Harris, as a young person, deserves stability, security, and care. Tiny's call to his mother and her promise to provide for his needs exemplifies how intentional actions can create meaningful support systems, even in high-profile, public-facing families. It's a reminder that behind every headline, there are real lives, and thoughtful gestures can have a lasting impact. So, why does this matter so much? Beyond the celebrity angle, this story is about accountability, maturity, and prioritizing the needs of a child above personal image or public scrutiny. Tiny's decision to call King Harris mother and offer support reflects a level of responsibility and empathy that is too often missing in celebrity culture. It demonstrates that even in the midst of fame, influence, and scrutiny, individuals can choose to do the right thing. For young fans watching, it's a lesson in caring for others, fulfilling promises, and showing that real actions speak louder than headlines or social media posts. Fans have also highlighted the financial assistance aspect as particularly significant. Providing for a child goes beyond covering basic needs. It's about creating stability, ensuring proper education, and safeguarding the child's future. Tiny's promise is tangible proof of responsibility, showing that when public figures step up, they can make a real difference. In an industry often criticized for prioritizing fame over family, this story serves as a refreshing example of how influence can be used positively, inspiring audiences to value care and responsibility. And here's the bigger picture. Tiny's gesture is a reminder that family matters, care matters, and accountability matters, regardless of wealth, fame, or public scrutiny. King Harris benefits directly from her actions, but the message resonates far beyond this single family. Fans are reminded that actions, especially those focused on children, have a lasting impact. And in an era dominated by celebrity drama, conflicts, and viral feuds, moments like this stand out as examples of positive behavior that deserve recognition and praise. Tiny's call shows that even amidst fame, thoughtful, responsible choices can create stability and security for those who matter most. So, what can we take away from this story? First, that personal responsibility matters, especially when children are involved. Second, that being a public figure doesn't excuse neglect. In fact, it amplifies the responsibility to act thoughtfully. And third, that small gestures, like making a call and promising support, can have a massive impact on someone's life. Tiny's actions remind us all that fame and influence come with obligations, and fulfilling those obligations with compassion and consistency can make a real difference. So, tea drinkers, that's the latest on Tiny, King Harris, and the heartfelt phone call to his mother. Tiny not only checked in to see if he was okay, but she also promised full financial support for his well-being. A gesture that has fans praising her responsibility, compassion, and maturity. What do you think about Tiny's actions? Drop your thoughts in the comments.